Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Promote Your Restaurant on Hundreds of Websites and Attract New Customers Risk-Free with LuckyDiem. Welcome for joining us, Andrew.
Hey there, Rev. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Want to give a quick thanks to Branded Strategic Hospitality for helping you promote and book this webinar. And thanks to Gallery Design Studio for making the following presentation look awesome. Now, we put this webinar series together. We realized that the restaurant business is going through a very difficult time right now. A lot of people have either closed or switched to delivery and takeout. However, it's going to end. We're going to get past this, and we need to start think about what we're going to do on the other side when the powder keg of activity explodes and everybody wants to go back to visiting their favorite places to eat. And so hopefully through this series, you're capturing some insights and ideas of things that you can do to transform your business. And so with that, today, if you're watching the webinar, you're going to learn three things. Number one, what is a card linked offer? I think this is very exciting. I know, and I'm excited for you to learn how to make customer loyalty addictively fun. That does sound fun. And lastly, most importantly, what I'm really excited for everybody to learn today is how to easily get 50 plus new customers per month, $2,000 more of revenue per month, and an increased average order value up to 40%. Wow, I can't wait to get into that. With that, I want to formally introduce you to Andrew Landis. He is the founder and CEO of LuckyDiem. Andrew is a seasoned entrepreneur who founded PhotoLinks, an online photo sharing platform, in 1997. Potentially, some people watching this maybe not even born then. I had just graduated college. Anyway, that was acquired by Photograph in 2001. In 2002, he launched EP Ventures, a hospitality service business that counted Tavern on the Green, great place here in New York City, and the Rainbow Room as clients. Andrew was an executive at Sony Corporation for 7 years, where he led its digital media strategy, including the launch of Sony Online. He's a speaker on gamification as well as behavioral economics and MarTech. Andrew is really super passionate about marrying consumer behavior with technology. He's also into live music, snowboarding, and the beach. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Rev Ciencio. I'm a hospitality marketing consultant. I help restaurants raise awareness, acquire, and retain customers through digital marketing, social media, and the use of incredible software. My personal magic wand is pizza. I keep saying that. I hope people remember it. I have more than 20 years experience in branding, digital marketing, and hospitality, and I've worked with hundreds of restaurants to help them attract and retain customers. A lot of people know me as a restaurant and hospitality marketing influencer. I run a couple of Instagram accounts with more than 600,000 followers total and lots of gratuitous food photos. I also used to own a bar in New York City, so I know exactly how hard it is to market and brand a location-based business. But today we are here to talk about card-linked offers. And so with that, Andrew, I'm gonna give control over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Rev, again. I'm going to jump right into it, guys, because we have a lot to cover. Hopefully it's all very interesting and relevant information for restaurateurs that we've been working with for a very long time and helping them run their business and grow their business. So, you walk down any given street today and we all see the same thing. There's another restaurant, there's another store going out of business. And despite what the headlines might have you believe, e-commerce is not responsible for what ails retail, and in particular the restaurant industry, coronavirus notwithstanding, but rather how the consumer's path to purchase has radically changed. In fact, despite how much online shopping has become a part of our daily lives, e-commerce still only accounts for 11% of consumer spending in the US. The rest remains offline at brick and mortar establishments like restaurants such as yours. Moreover, 37%, or that's about $1.5 trillion of offline retail sales, is influenced by digital marketing. So it's not consumer spending that is the problem. It's, as you can see from this slide here, it's the consumer's addiction to discounts. We can thank Groupon for opening the bottle and the genie coming out. The steep discounting just causes a race to the bottom. I can't stress this enough. Steep discounting decimates your margins, damages your brand, and kills customer loyalty. So 2, digital marketing's complexity. We all feel this. Search, promotion, loyalty are simply too much for a small business owner to manage and execute effectively. I've been in digital marketing my entire life, and it's still difficult to wrap your hands around. It's ever changing. And then that ties directly into kind of escalating costs. Today it's just so noisy out there to get the consumer's attention that we're spending more and more money and getting less and less reach and attribution, which is my segue to the last point, which is, Attribution is a simple, in the digital world, it's great. You can spend money, you can get a click tied to a purchase. In the offline world, in the world of restaurants, we don't have that luxury. It's really tough to tie online advertising ad spend and making sure that is actually tied to money coming into the till. That is the single largest marketing challenge every business has, large or small. So what are we going to do about it? Let's see if this is going to advance. There we go. So our solution solves all of these problems by making digital marketing incredibly simple and risk-free for any size business, period. LuckyDiem's platform accomplishes the following. One, we advertise cashback rewards to a network of leading apps and websites with over 200 million active users. Two, we make customer loyalty addictively fun and rewarding. Kind of think Foursquare done the right way, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. Three, we charge you, the restaurant owner, only on a cost per sale basis. Our tech stack leverages card-linked offer technology, which integrates with Visa, MasterCard, Amex, enabling us to track the online advertising to a specific brick and mortar purchase. So 100% online to offline attribution solved. And finally, four, and this is probably most important, all of this without any change to consumer behavior or any hassle for the restaurant owner. There's no hardware, there's no software to download, there's no training required, and the setup takes less than 10 minutes. So here's how it works. Your business is advertised on hundreds of great websites, like I've mentioned, like Yelp, Acorn, NerdWallet, Uber's reward program, or Wells Fargo's credit card rewards program. These websites and apps show advertisements to millions of people, either on their app while they are out and about, or online researching where they're going to shop and dine. By advertising to these consumers, when they are looking to spend money, we can drive significant revenue to your restaurant by incentivizing these consumers with a 10% cashback offer. The consumer sees an offer from you and links their credit card online, then all they have to do is come into your restaurant and use the card they linked to pay, and they will get the cash back automatically. We charge you only a fee on a completed purchase made at your restaurant.
I think one of the important things to point out here, Andrew, and feel free to riff on this, is the net apps and networks that you appear to be on are where people are looking to make purchase decisions, right? They have their card in hand, so to speak.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, it's simple. It's the key thing. I've been in technology all my life. My core function for 7 years at Sony Corporation was essentially brainstorming new technologies, services, and the fundamental key to success is how do you introduce something new that's not going to really require that much friction. And with card-linked offers, that's why we're seeing so much success. In fact, last year, CardLinks Association that manages and keeps track of the activity in this space, showed that the card-linked activity purchases doubled from year over year. I mean, that's tremendous.
It's amazing
adaptation and growth. And I think we're just at the beginning. And certainly one thing that we are really proud about at LuckyDiem is that while this technology is being marketed and made available to large companies, nationals, big box, we're talking Starbucks, Sephora, Ulta, companies like that. The small business owner, the restaurateur, just doesn't have access to it. And so that's what we're bringing to the market, is the ability to offer this new technology, marketing without friction that can help you grow your sales. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into it as we move forward with the webinar. So let's see. This is how it works. Perfect. Thanks, Rev.
Yep.
An example of how your business will show up on Yelp, which has over, as you know, 150 million active users. The best part about it is that you get this online advertising and pay nothing for it up front. What's great about the user experience in Yelp is that consumers can search venues right around where they are located and filter by cuisine, location, or just by restaurants that are offering cash back. This not only puts you at the top of the list, but more importantly, gives you an advantage over some, if not all, of your competitors in the surrounding area. So picture this. A user decides that they want to search for an Italian restaurant in the area. When they type that into the search bar, dozens of businesses come up. However, your restaurant is the only one being displayed with a 10% reward to try it. That's a big incentive, big distinction. All the user has to do is link any of their debit or credit cards, and they never have to think about it again. So here are some more examples of what your business would look like on all of our different platforms that are part of the network. Here's Acorns, here's Swag Bucks. Here's our own LuckyDiem app. It's an optional for restaurateurs. What we've done with LuckyDiem is gamify the entire experience. This is something we have deep experience with, and it goes into like the heart of behavioral economics. Is like, we don't love giving away big discounts. As I mentioned at the top of the webinar, it hurts your brand, hurts your margins. When a consumer sees, something like 20%, 30% off, it's a red flag about the brand. So what we do with LuckyDiem's app is use gamification and behavioral economics, give them a small discount, say 5%, but they have a chance to increase that reward to 10% if they engage with the brand. Maybe answer a survey question that you're interested in knowing more about, or a trivia question. It's like, where your name came from? What night is ladies' night? Do people know that kids eat free if they're under 5, and things like that. All of a sudden, the mind plays a game and saying, oh, I feel like that 10% that I just earned out feels like 20%, 30%. And we've got tons of case studies with small to large brands that have proven this out, that we can change the perceived value of a discount without flashing and giving away that big discount. Because, hey, we all know the truth. When you get something for free or put little effort into it, it kind of feels cheap. It feels like there's not much value. But if you make someone earn it, achieve it, then all of a sudden that value increases more. And the other part of what makes the app a little bit interesting is this leaderboard that we have developed. Rev knows this. Foursquare was a lot of fun for consumers. We all love being mayor of our favorite spot.
Yeah,
but it kind of got a little bit tired. Rev, about this more than I do. You were actually mayor of all New York, I think.
I was the mayor of New York City for probably about a year. It was a good time.
Yeah. So, sometimes the mayor could get away with a couple of perks, and if it was a legit mayor and you were contributing to the purchasing at that restaurant, it's fine, all and well. But what actually ended up happening, it's a little inside secret, is many of these restaurant owners were getting frustrated with mayors coming in. It's like, if you're my mayor, wouldn't I recognize you? And wouldn't I see you as a regular? And they finally figured out that, many of these mayors were just like checking in at the doorway and then coming in looking for freebies. So with LuckyDiem's app, we want to do it right and only give users, points and levels and mayorships based on actual purchasing, which our technology enables, as well as your friends. If they make a purchase, you'll show up as getting credit as well. Okay, so if anyone has questions about that, they can certainly get in touch with us, and we can explain how LuckyDiem's gamification works to grow sales and loyalty. So here's another little snapshot of our publishers network. As you can see, as Rev talked about, it's a lot of the leading apps out there of when you're looking and researching to make a purchase, where you're looking to go out to eat. Chances are you're going to be using one of our publishers. Particularly Yelp is, just huge in the network, and they're incentivized to work with us because our marketing fee that we generate and charge you on a completed purchase is shared with them. And let's get a little bit more into that.
I mean, one comment here, my bank has these. So when I go in to check my balance or write checks, like I see these offers. It's pretty awesome. That is a point at which I'm thinking about spending money, right?
Right, exactly. So this is a kind of a pie chart of how the business model works. If we use an example of a $100 purchase, 10% or $10 goes back to the consumer, and 10% goes to us for facilitating that purchase in your restaurant. And that's broken down further by our partners, as I mentioned. If it's the publisher like Yelp, and there's a third party that has to pay the credit card companies and things like that. The key takeaway here on this slide is you retain as the restaurant $80 or 80%. And some people, some restaurants will say, well, 20% is a lot. My margins are not going to be able to handle that. So if we jump to the next slide, I can talk to you a little bit about that. It's kind of interesting. It's like LuckyDiem is providing you incremental revenue on a pay per sale basis. So what this means is that every guest we send into your business is additional revenue that would have never been created without the program. So for example, if we send 10 new guests a day, this doesn't affect your fixed costs like your rent, your labor, or anything else you factor in when determining your margin, other than food costs. Food costs are a variable. So those 300 guests that this new program that LuckyDiem generates for you only affects your food costs, which on average is 30% in the industry. So in a venue like yours, the margin on incremental revenue is around 70%. If you subtract the 20% fees for the program, you actually end up with a profit of 50%, which means our guests are actually more valuable than the current customers, even after giving them the 10% cash back and the 10% marketing fees. That's Rev, when I share this screen with a lot of restaurant owners, all of a sudden their eyes pop open. They're like, "Oh my God, yeah, I never thought about that. This makes sense." It's great.
If your labor cost is going up because you're getting 300 new customers a week, that's probably a good thing, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. Okay. So very simply, how it works for the consumers. Again, all they do is link their credit card to the offer they've seen maybe on Yelp or their credit card offer. They bring in that card, pay for the check. Sometimes they will actually get that push notification on their phone before the check returns to the table, congratulating them on the money they have just saved. And then that money gets put back onto their credit card or debit card by the end of the month. You can see that LuckyDiem, even though we are relatively a startup, we have a vast network of merchants, 30,000 across the country. We cover 74% of the population has access to a number of our venues, and particularly in New York, it's our second most populated city with over 1,300 locations on LuckyDiem. And I think about 90% or more are restaurants. Let's keep on going. The merchant reporting. This is really cool. We're really proud of this, is that for the first time, the small business owner, the restaurateur, gets a live dashboard of the activity. And while you may have had activity and dashboards for other campaigns and marketing techniques, this one is particularly unique because while it's showing you the impressions here, which is great, something you used to pay for, clicks you used to pay for, we're only showing it to you because, hey, this is the reach that your brand is getting today or this month, what you set the time period that you want it to be reviewed for. What's valuable here is you get to see for the first time that your marketing dollars is only being spent on actual revenue being driven in. And the dashboard is pretty sophisticated. There's another link here that you can actually see how many repeat customers are coming in, how many new customers. You can actually click here and see your invoicing and your redemptions, and we match it up to the last 4 digits of the credit card, and that's all provided for you in real time. So, Rev, we a couple of our customers already in the Manhattan area. Here's an example of one that I used to frequent quite a bit, an Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side. This is an example of the monthlies over the past year. You could see in May and June, we drove a lot of business into this restaurant. And I think that's just the nature of this restaurant having outdoor seating, more capacity. But you can see it's a steady flow of new revenue. And you can see from the dashboard how many redemptions, those are purchases, what the AOV is. This is so critical to know before launching LuckyDiem. I hope every single restaurateur knows their AOV because we're going to increase that AOV, which I'm going to go into in greater detail in a moment. And this wonderful thing called ROAS in the marketing industry. What is your return on advertising spend? What that number means is that LuckyDiem is generating $11 of revenue for every dollar you've spent with us.
This is amazing. I remember when I owned my bar in the East Village, we almost couldn't weather the storm in August. And by storm, I mean nobody's in the city. And not because of a coronavirus, right? People are in the Hamptons, people are at the shore, people are people are just gone, right? And August would kill us. We were sweating bullets in August. If I had a June that looked like this, where I'm doing, I can't see what the graphs are here, but it looks like 4 times as much business, brand new. Man, that is like squirrels getting fat before the winter, right? Like, holy smokes, that would have changed my business. And this is a single location business. This is not a large chain or a heavily advertised. It's just a great Italian restaurant. Like, man, this would have changed my business. Like, this would have changed my business.
It truly is, and it is changing a lot of the lives of restaurateurs. Being able to just set it and forget it type of mentality and look at your dashboard every once in a while. It's like, here's another 2,000. Here's another 2,000. I mean, this restaurant, it was just killing it. I think that says 17,000 in incremental sales back in June. And I think the Hamptons effect came in July and August when families on the Upper East Side head out there. And you can see even, this restaurant's fairly lucky. They're doing a solid takeout business. You can see even with coronavirus impacting restaurants as it is, they're doing sales in March.
It's awesome.
What you get to see in your dashboard, new customers versus repeat customers. So you could see that in this particular instance that it's almost like 90% new customers. I say that because it's a segue to the next slide, which is a local Italian craft bar on the Upper East in Midtown. And hold on. I've lost the ability.
Nope, you should have it now. We're back here. The craft beer bar in Midtown is on your screen.
Okay. So are you, Rev, getting the whole, seeing yourself as the maid?
Nope, on screen is craft beer bar in Midtown.
So it's only mine. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
That. You can see what I love about this craft beer bar is that it's almost the inverse. This was a bar that's packed almost every single night. And we approached the owner and the GM about LuckyDiem, and they said, you know what, we don't really need more sales. We can't really handle more capacity than we already have. But we said, why don't you try it and see if we can't increase your average order size? And I said, let's make sure you know what your average order size is. And he says, of course I know my average order size. It's $38. I said, okay, let's run the program for a couple of months and see what happens. And a great thing occurred. We ran the program 1 month, second month, and obviously you could see from the AOV number here, it had increased, even though we like to say it's only going to increase 20, if you're lucky, 30%. In this case, it increased 42%. Why is that? It's behavioral economics. It's the rationality of consumer behavior. When you think you're saving money, you're going to spend more money. And that is the beauty of that 10% cash back. You don't need more. You don't need to go up to 15, 20, or 30%. Just the idea that in the back of my mind, I'm saving money. Maybe I'm going to buy my friends around. Maybe I will go one level up and buy a better liquor, top shelf. Who knows? But it is proven, and we have hundreds of locations that we're increasing their AOV from 20 to 30, even in this case, 40%. And you can see from this stat down here, even though we're adding some new customers, a bulk of this venue is repeat customers, and the owner doesn't care, doesn't mind giving away that 10, 20% back to us, 10% to consumer, 10% to marketing, because their AOV has increased so significantly. Okay, let's see. Will my advanced work? I think I've lost control. Okay, so here are the results that you can expect when you launch LuckyDiem. And as mentioned, as Rev mentioned at the top of the webinar, we're going to probably add, depending on your location and the type of restaurant you are, we'll add probably 50 to 100 new customers per month. We're going to, depending on what that average check looks like, if it's a $20 check, that's $2,000. If it's a $50 check, it's $5,000. You saw the example of an Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side. It's $10,000, it's $15,000 because that average check is larger. What we talked about on the case study from dashboard from the craft beer place, we will increase your average order size 30 to 40%. And then we're also going to increase return visits by 20 to 30%. Why is that? Well, I know, restaurant A versus restaurant B, I'm going to save money. So I'm just going to default. I'm going to go back to A.
Yeah, right, I think if I can take the mic here for a second, from working with hundreds of restaurants and formerly owning one, you're a small business, and these are small business examples. These are not, multi-unit chains with, marketing departments in a city in the middle of nowhere. Like, these are small businesses, and you're so busy operating your business. The delivery truck showed up late, employee called out, the toilet broke again. Like, where do you have time in your day to think about raising awareness, acquiring customers, and retaining them? And this kind of actually manages a piece of the funnel completely on your behalf. There's nothing to do. It just, it brings you in. I think I'm going to do the segue for you here, though, Andrew, and talk about like the fear of like, okay, well, what do I have to do to take this setup? Like, how hard is this to implement? So why don't you just talk about that?
Right. And, we've alluded to this at the opening is, the beautiful thing about card-linked offers with LuckyDiem is that there really is no friction. There's no change in behavior for the consumer, but most importantly, there's nothing really involved from the business owner's perspective. And we understand that, when I was starting to pitch this to small restaurateurs, we all have been there. It's like, I can't talk to you right now, Andrew. I've got other priorities. The beef delivery hasn't been made. Polly's called in sick again. I got to cover, payroll. More than one occasion, I was like, can you come back in 30 minutes? I got to fix the toilet. Yeah. So the nice thing about LuckyDiem card-linked offers is that you can get set up in less than 10 minutes. There's a contract that you sign, and then literally all you need to do is, if you're not happy, if you're having any problems, it takes 24 hours to take you down off the platform. So there's no hardware, no software, no hard training. And the biggest pushback, Rev, that we usually get from business owners is like, this seems too easy. What's the catch? And I just want to say, we've played around with different business models, like, okay, maybe let's make it more believable that you have to pay $50 a month minimum. There's no catch. It's easy, and because of that, the conversion rate, once a business owner learns about this, says, sure, why not? It's really, we get the shrug of like, why wouldn't I do this?
Yep.
So we want to get the word out to as many restaurants and business owners as possible. But this technology, this marketing platform is available to you. It's not just now available to the big brands. We are leveling the playing field for every business out there.
Cool. And I think let's, for a quick second, talk about the consumer experience, because I've used this and I've seen what it's like. It couldn't be easier, right? I'm on Yelp. I see cashback offer or Acorns. I tap it. I link my card. Then my card's linked forever, and then nothing. I literally I walk in. I don't have to show a coupon. I don't got to pull an app. Nothing. I don't have to tell anybody I'm getting a discount. What I love, I think we talked about this the other day, is like, oh, if I'm there with like 4 of my friends and they're gonna Venmo me to split the check, and I know I'm getting 10% cash back and I don't tell anybody, I'll put a few extra bucks in my pocket for handling the transaction. Like it's super easy.
It's an easy way to game the system and game your friends if you want to do it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super easy from the consumer.
It's like, oh yeah, this check's on me. Oh, just Venmo me. Yeah, I'll grab this check. Yeah.
Well, look, this is awesome. I think you want to talk about a special offer you have for people to try and give some a little bit of relief here in the time of coronavirus. Again, we're going to be reopening doors soon, and you want to be thinking about driving customers. Tell them what you got for them here.
Yeah, so a little bit of economic stimulus to weather the storm is, start planning now. If you, react to this webinar and reach out to us, we'll make sure that if you use the promo code REVWebinar, we'll give you the first $3,000 in sales for free. No marketing fees will be attached to that first $3,000 in sales. So it's a great kind of like stimulus. Those customers will be coming to you gratis from us. And it's, at least it's a little bit hopeful. It's a little bit of planning a vacation, something to look forward to. And, we're all in this together. So whatever we can do to help jumpstart the economy and your business, nothing's going to make us happier than to be able to offer that.
That's awesome. I think this is incredible. So if people want to get in touch with you and take you up on the offer, what's the best way to do if they want to learn more?
Just shoot me an email at andrew@luckydiem.com. And we have a biz dev and sales and an account management team that will be more than happy to take care of you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. I think this is incredible. For those of you watching, if you're really interested in this, for sure, reach out to Andrew here. But if you like what you learned today, I encourage you. We've been talking about smashing the like button on LinkedIn here. Leave a comment if you have a question or you thought it was really cool. And if you really, really like this, or you think this is valuable to a friend who has a similar business, or a peer or a family member, share the webinar. Just click that share button and share this information with other people. We really, really appreciate it. Now, let's take that to another level. If you really like what you learned today, you're interested in having similar discussions, you want to network with restaurant executives, you want to get your questions answered about hospitality marketing, tech, success, that kind of stuff, please, please, please join our private Facebook group. It's free. It's run by myself and inspirational thought leader, John Mark Shar. He's a really, really incredible guy. I love working with him. Just go to bit.ly/restmast and you can sign up. Again, that's bit.ly/RESTMAST. That's short for Restaurant Executive Mastery. Again, you can join that private Facebook group. It is bit.ly/RESTMAST. You can get your questions answered and join us over there. Lastly, hey, I want to give some thanks to Branded Strategic Hospitality. They're a micro venture investment and solutions platform that leverages its ecosystem of restaurants, hospitality expertise, relationships to high tech, that's hospitality tech, emerging concepts, and very unique food and beverage concepts with capital and customers. They help accelerate technology. They may be how you actually found out about this webinar, so I want to thank them. We also want to give some really good thanks to Gallery Design Studio. They help B2B businesses with reliable, ongoing marketing creative. They created this template. I appreciate that. I've worked with them for years. They do awesome, awesome work. And Andrew, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for sharing LuckyDiem with us. We appreciate that. If you have any questions for me or you want to talk about ways I can help you, please reach out LinkedIn. Just throw me a DM or on any social network. I'm Rev Ciencio on all of them. You can also email me, the rev at yeahmanagement.com. People forget the H and yeah all the time. I don't know why. That is yay if it is YEA. So email me, the rev at yeahmanagement.com. And I want to thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you found this to be insightful. You're thinking of all new ways to master success in your restaurant business. You're getting ready for those doors to open again. And maybe this is going to help you bring in and retain some customers. Again, if you really like what you learned today, please jam that like button, leave a comment, and share this webinar. Guys, I want to thank you and make it a great, tasty day.